I rejected 500 million naira given to me by ministers, others during my mother's burial. EFCC chairman. You rejected it. How are we supposed to know that you rejected it? Do we have any evidence? If they say, how are we going to know? How are we supposed to know that one? Okay, we believe you. Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Olanipekun Olukoyede, has revealed that he turned down 500 million naira given to him by ministers, permanent secretaries, directors, DGs of agencies when his mother died. He said on Thursday, February 27, 2025, at the Human and Environmental Development Agenda Heather Resource Center, 38th Anti-Corruption Situation Room, ACSR, conference in Abuja. The event was themed Ethics, Integrity, Corruption Risk Assessment, and Anti-Corruption at national and subnational levels in Nigeria, sustaining the fight against corruption. I lost my mother in the year 2019. Since 2019, in Efcc State, we went for the funeral. I was secretary of the EFCC then. So it was then that you rejected the money. It's not now that you're EFCC boss. I beg. I was secretary of the EFCC then. People came a day before the funeral. I decided not to go on time, so I went to my place a day before the funeral service. By the time I got to my small compound, which I built several years ago before I joined the EFCC, okay, start trying to paint yourself as a saint. You know corrupt. Abi, is that what you're trying to tell us? You built house several years ago. We have heard you. I saw about 17 cows in my compound, including pregnant ones. They said 17 cows. When I got home, my gateman presented a box to me, a carton, and inside this I saw so many checks and drafts from ministers, permanent secretaries, from directors, DGs of agencies. And so I went in and showed it to my wife. She said, praise God. I said, praise God for what? By the time he put all the checks together, he counted close to 500 million naira. He also said he looked at the checks and put them together, wrote a letter against each check and drafts and returned them to where they came from. Indeed, we have heard you. But who is asking you all these stories? Why are you telling us these stories now? He said, though it can be considered a traditional gift, he wondered if it was expedient for him to take such gifts as secretary of the EFCC as at that time. What about the cows? Did you return the cows too? The 17 cows, did you return them as well? I did the burial in September 2019. By July 2020, I was under investigation. Now, assuming all those checks were paid into my account as traditional gifts, as people said, and some of the MDAs that we were investigating in the EFCC, some of their directors and their DGs and their ministers sent checks to me, the EFCC boss said, now you sabi that one. If to say you don't collect time, put time there and they investigated you, you enter problem with that now. Ordinarily, for burial, some 1 million, some 20 million and all of that, even though that wouldn't have influenced my decision, if I was in a position to actually determine what will happen to the investigation, but wouldn't it have been expedient for me? How would I have explained before a panel and they saw checks paid into my account? The first thing they did when they saw the check was to check on my accounts. So assuming they found those checks paid into my account, wouldn't it have been a good defense for me to say it was my mother's burial when they were actually looking for me to roast me? Looking for every opportunity. For me, that's what you call integrity, when you go beyond the level of expectation. Okay, Mr. Integrity, okay. He also recalled rejecting the separate bidding by his brother-in-law and his blood elder brother for an auctioneering process when, as the EFCC secretary, he was statutorily in charge of management of forfeited assets. My chairman then, we agreed that we should select a committee, so we selected Asset Forfeiture Committee comprising of about 6 directors, including myself as the chairman of the committee, and a few other staff, he said. We advertised for auctioneers, so they applied. We were able to shortlist about 11 of them. My brother-in-law happens to be an international auctioneer. He applied. His application came to me. I saw it and I shared it. Why? Why? Because he's your brother-in-law. What? And you said he's an international auctioneer. So why did you share it? You're a wicked person. So somebody, my PA, who knew him, called him and told him that what I did. And for 6 months, he didn't talk to me. 6 months. I will not talk to you forever and ever. Because you just denied him an opportunity. It's not as if he's not competent for the job. Because he's your brother-in-law, you now decide that you don't want to give him. Can you imagine? He applied. He's an international auctioneer. He applied. And you shredded it. What do you mean by that? One of my elder brothers called me. I heard you are doing an auction. I needed a job for my business. I said, sir, go and read what we publicize. Conflict of interest. No staff of Efcc or immediate members of the family is allowed. He said, no, they will use another name. Of course, they could have helped him. I knew they could do that. They say immediate members of family. So your brother-in-law, is it your son-in that he's bearing? Okay. After about 8 months down the line, they set up a panel to investigate activities of the EFCC. I and my chairman then were placed on suspension. Now they began to investigate what we did in the office. They investigated the particular auction I did in Port Harcourt. Now, assuming they found the name of my brother-in-law as one of the auctioneers, is that not his job? What could have been the result? Probably I may be in jail by now. Look what they added. Well, who now asked you all this story, Sha? Who asked you? Read you. Emmanuel Arot said you're always trying to present yourself as a saint, but you are not. Because there is no saint in EFCC. Yes, so there is no saint there. No saint at all EFCC. If people are good people, all the Yaya below, they will not be walking outside freely. All the people that they have said they are corrupt, you would have gone to arrest them if truly you are a good person. There is no saint in EFCC or in any top public offices in Nigeria, especially under Tinubu's government. You must belong and be ready to practice corruption in an Alibaba and the 40 sister before one can be appointed. I mean now. I did this clap for him and said, however, time will tell. Okay, Augustine Sunday says, go on with your good job. Good turn deserves another. Now so, Germany Meg says, I was just wondering how this is holy man nature as he paints himself will last. I'm telling you, he's always trying to paint himself as a good person. He's perfect. It might be holy when he entered the EFCC newly, when he was the secretary, then that he rejected. Okay, he rejected money. What about the 16 cows they gave to? Why didn't you return it? Newly, but what of now? I trust Nigeria people. If they don't get you to join their league today, they will surely get you tomorrow. Leave them alone. God's power, Bibini says, now all these self-appraisal messages I hate most in my life. Exactly. Let people be the ones to say, oh, our EFCC boss, Mr. Olukoyede, is a good man. He doesn't collect bribe. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. But you are the one self-glorifying yourself. So now you are telling the public how saint and godly clean you are. I beg, back Joe. Agri Christian says, these people will never stop being stupid, thinking they are dealing with fools. Abu Abdu says, exactly. When it's corruption that brought the louse there, exactly. With all the stories that we hear about EFCC, you're not telling us that since 2019. Obegi, we don't be Nairobi say super story because nobody even asked him all these questions that he's answering. I beg, we've heard you. And this now is over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.